Welcome back to part 2 of our Gadget Store app design series. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I suggest starting from there. I've broken this full tutorial into parts so it's easier for you to follow and not too long in one sitting. So I paused the video so that the video will not be too long. So I have duplicated the cards and I have replaced all the contents inside the cards. So now I have all my cards here. So the next thing, once you've done you have all your cards this way, the next thing you're going to do is to start grouping your cards. So these cards, I'm going to highlight these cards here. I'm going to highlight 4 of these cards here. What I'll now do is I'm going to give it auto layout, Shift A, put it in an auto layout. Then I'll also highlight these 4 cards here. Then I will give it Shift A, auto layout. Then I highlight these cards here. Then I'll give it Shift A, auto layout. So this frame, I'll change the name. I'll just say cards. I'll change the name of this frame to cards. Then also this to cards. So the next thing I'm now going to do is to bring in my card inside the frame. So this card here, I'm going to drag it inside the frame this way. Layouts going to do that. I'm now going to make sure I'm highlighting on this, then I'll right click, then I'll give it a frame selection. Right, I will now do double click selection. Done. Then now this is my frame selection. I'll make sure I'm highlighting on it. Then I will come here over here to the right hand side. Then I will left click and I'll resize the frame selection. Let it fit my frame here. I'm going to move this way. You see this red line? Then I'll just fit it this way. So I have this. So what we'll do next is to come over here, change the name of this iPhone to, then I'll come over here and expand it, increase the height. So now the next thing, I will duplicate this, I'll bring it over here, then zoom in. Then this, I will now say new arrivals. So new arrivals, I would shift it this way. Then new arrivals, this very card, or better still, the easiest way for you to get the perfect, because since you've already formatted this one, I'll just copy this one here, this frame selection here. I'll just copy it down here. So once you copy it, you come to this card, click on this card, then you Control X and cut it out. Then you come to this frame selection, click on it, then you double click, let it highlight the auto layout, which is the cards here. The cards is what's highlighting, not the frame selection. Now make sure it's highlighting the cards. Then you right click, then you say paste to replace. So you see easily it has replaced for you without headache. Then what I'll do is I'll come over here again, this category, I'll duplicate it, bring it here, then I'll come here, then I'll say recommendation for you, or better still, let's leave it as recommendations. So I will now move it and arrange it also. So remember, we will duplicate this frame selection here, bring it down here, then click on these cards, then you Control X, then you double click to highlight this, then you right click, then you paste to replace. So at the end of the day, you're going to have this. So what you will now do next is you click on the overall frame. I'm now going to increase the size a little, then I will start arranging. So I'll start arranging. So now I'll come to the top and arrange it properly. So now I'll make sure this is well aligned. You see that red line, it means it's there. So and the spacing, I'm going to come to the right hand side panel, right? I'll work on the spacing. You see the spacing here is saying 26, right? So all I'll do is I'll give the spacing to 24. Then this and this, see the spacing is 41. I would say 32, and the spacing here is 34. I'll bring it to 24. 35, I'll bring it to 24. Then click on this and this. You see the spacing here, I'll bring it to 24 also. And this and this, the spacing here, I'll bring it to 24. Then this and this, the spacing 24. Then this and the spacing, Control Z, the spacing 24. Then this and this, the spacing 24. And this, the spacing 24. So this and this 24, right? So we're good to go. So now for this one here, right, we're going to click on just the frame selection. You see, when we click on the frame selection, I would want you to increase the size here. Now the reason why it's like this is so that if there is any item, or if you're scrolling, let there be space here, right, so that your menu will show, right? So we'll do it this way, make it like this. Yeah, just make it this big. Don't worry, you see the reason why we're doing this. Then I'll come over here, click on the overall frame, then resize it. I'll just hold on key, then resize, then I'm good this way. Now all of these items, I'm going to make sure they're centered. I'll just click here, align them to the center. This particular one, align it to the center. This particular one to align it to the center. This, make sure it's well aligned. 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 And make sure it's aligned to the center. So now we are done with our home page. Right? The only thing that is remaining now is our navigation menu. So now I'll just click on this, then I'll resize it. So the standard height is 932, so I'll resize to the standard height menu. It's time for us to create our navigation menu. So to create our navigation menu, we need to bring out our frame here. Click on our frame, draw it here. Now this frame, I'm now going to size it to dimension. I'll bring it to 48 by 48, 48 by 48. Then I'll bring my home here, side it, just center it. Now after doing that, the next thing I'm now going to do is to bring out the text, which is this. I'll bring out this, I'll duplicate this, now bring it here, and I will change the name to home. Then I'll resize it to 10. I'll resize it to 10. Just resize it to 10. Then auto height, so I'll resize it to 10. So I will click on this and highlight this. Then I will say auto layout. I'll give it an auto layout. So when I give it an auto layout, the next thing I'm going to do is to come to this gap, and I will remove this gap 0. I'll remove this gap 0. So the next thing now I'll do is to duplicate. But this home, I'll check if it's 24 by 24. Yes, remember I told you it has to be 24 by 24. So now I'll duplicate this home here. Then the next thing we have is category. I'll click on this category and cut it. Click on this home, then I'll right click, then I'll paste to replace. Then I would change the text to category. Category is supposed to be So it's supposed to be categories. So categories. So it's supposed to be categories. Let's see, the size of the text is still too big. I'll change it to 9 and see. Okay, so this one too, I'll change it to 9. Now I'll duplicate this. Then the next icon is search, so I'll come copy my search icon, Ctrl X, cut it out, then come here, double click, and double click on the frame, then I'll right click, then I'll paste to replace. Then this I'll just come here, change the name to search, the title to search, then duplicate this, then copy, cut, and click on search here, this one, then right click, then paste to replace. Then for this, I'm now going to say profile. So I'm now going to say profile. So now that I'm done, I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is to highlight all of this. Then I'm going to give it Shift A, give it auto layout. Then now that I've given it auto layout, I'm now going to come to padding here, 10. Remember our padding is 16, so it's supposed to be 16. Then the next thing we're going to do after giving padding of 16 up and down, we're now going to give another padding. So this up is going to have more padding, so up padding is going to be 25, then down padding is going to be 15. So down padding, let's make it 10. So now we're good. Then we can now fill this up. But first of all, the corner radius, let's give the top right 10 and 12. Sorry, it's 12 we're using. Then the top left, then we'll come to fill and add a fill this way. So we're going to have something like this. So now we've added fill. Now what next? The next thing now we're going to do is to come over here and add our effects. We'll add an effect, and this effect we'll leave it at 4 here, then blur here we'll now make it 40. We'll make blur 40. Then we have our nav menu, we'll drag it here. So I will just come over here, then do this, and it will come up automatically. Let's come here and expand this. I'll just come here and make sure it's at the center. After I've made sure it's at the center, I'll just come over here and give it a padding, a gap, which is a spacing. Let's say 60. So at the end of the day, we have something like this. I can come further and increase the padding of this to 15 and reduce the padding of this to 15 too, let's say. So I'm good like this. At the end of the day, we now have a perfect so now the next thing we're going to do is to start creating our home screens, right? The next thing we're going to do is to create this, meaning when somebody clicks on that icon, let him see the product information, or should I say product description. So the next thing we're going to do is to do this. So how can we achieve this? First of all, I would want you to come over here and draw a frame. Now this frame will start from here, something like this. Draw it this way. So I have a frame like this. Let's check the size. So I have a frame like this, and let's check the size of this frame. The size of this frame is 383, 370, right? So I'll just click on this now, 383, then 370. 370. So I have this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring out a rectangle. Now come draw this rectangle here this way. Now I'm going to do this, then let's draw it this way. Then remember, I'm going to change the color, right? To color to this our gray color. Now what's this our gray color? This our gray color is EBE8E8. So I'll just come here, copy it, then I'll come here and I'll paste it here, EBE8E8. And now the whole of my screen, I'll give it a corner radius of 12. Then now I'll bring my mobile phone out. I'll just come here, click on my mobile phone, then I'll duplicate, I'll bring it out. So the next thing I'll do is I'll go into scale mode, shortcut key, then I would expand this mobile phone this way. I'll just center it, I'll have to bring it to the side here, let it be in the center of this way, then just center it vertically this way. So the next thing now is to bring in these contents, the name of the phone and the price, right? So the name of the phone here, I'll just alt and copy it out, right? The name of the phone here and the price, I will just ungroup this, then I'll drag this down, then I'll expand this. I'll take it out from scale. I'll just drag this frame so that the max will come here. I'll backspace just to do this. I'll just scale it back. I'll just reduce the size back. So now I have this. So now our eye, remember we have our eye here. I'll come click on this iframe, but the size is small, so I'll click on it. Remember I said the standard is 24 by 24, this is 16 by 16. So we're now going to increase the size to 24 dimension, 24 by 24. Then we'll drag it inside this frame. So I'm done using all my icons. I'll delete this frame, I don't need it anymore. Then description, I'll duplicate. I will come over here, click on this text, then drag this text box here, then come over here, copy the description for Apple. I'll come over here, copy the description for Apple, copy, then come back here. I think the text box has disappeared. I will create another, click on text, then left click and drag and create a text box this way. Then I'll right click and paste. I think they are white. I'll just change the color to gray. I'll click out and then change the color to gray in this way. Just make it more gray this way. So I have this. At the end of the day, I'm going to have this. So so I'll take it up a little, then I'll take it up a little, then this I'll take it up a little. Then what I'll now do is to get a button. So now I'll click on this text, then I'll say add to cart, and I'll say add to cart. I'll reduce the size of this to 14, standard size of button. Then I'll shift A, give it an auto layout. Shift A added. I was surprised, it has added auto layout for me. Then I would expand this button this way. Just expand, give it a corner radius of 12. Remember guys, we're working with 12 corner radius. Then I'll give it my primary color here. So all I'll do is to add fill, then come here, then pick this primary color, my color picker. So now I'm done with this. I would now click on this button, then come over here to this black. I'll change it to white. The button text, I'll change it to white. So I'll just increase the size this way. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have something like this. So now if I have something like this, the next thing I'll do is I'll give the overall frame a stroke, and this stroke is going to be a light gray stroke. I'll give it a light gray stroke. So I would resize the name of this to description. So I'll just say, so the next thing, I think we're done with this. The next thing is to duplicate this here. I'll duplicate this here. Once I've duplicated this here, this my description here, I would click on it and I will bring it on top of this. But before I duplicate, I forgot to do something, right? Before I duplicated, I forgot to do something. This, I'll bring it here, on top here. Then what I'll now do is I'll scale it. I'll press on K and scale this down this way. I'm going to scale this down this way. So I'll scale it down this way. Then I'll come here to I'll go out of scale. Then I'll come here to my right hand panel, come to this opacity, then I'll turn it to 0. So remember, this is the description of this iPhone 16 Pro. So if you want to put all the descriptions, you now put it separately and you put it exact spots. So now that I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is to click on this, then I will duplicate this. So now I'll now come back to this place, click on this. Now I'm looking for description, right? Description, okay, say it here. So I'll just click on this. The next thing I'll do is to add the opacity to 100 back. Then I'll go on scale, and I'll scale it up, then I'll just center this, then bring it down this way. What next? More screens. But first of all, we have one more thing to create, which is this button. It's this button by here and create the, so that's the next thing. For us to create this button frame, we're going to draw this frame like this, 405, the width of 405 and the height of, let's say, 70. Then we'll give it a corner radius of 12. Then what next? The next thing now is to click on my text and click here. And then the text, I'm now going to say view cards. This text size, I'm going to make sure is 14, view card 14. Then I'll give it auto layout. I'll give it an auto layout, Shift A. Make sure I give it an auto layout. I'll bring it out, Shift A, give it an auto layout. Now then I'll drag it back. Then I would come here to stroke and add stroke to this view card. Then I'll come to individual strokes. Then I'll make the stroke left this way. Then I will come to change the stroke color to white. The text too, I'm changing it to white, right? Which is the view card. I'm changing it to white. So the next thing I'll do is this button. I will change the color and give it my primary color, which I'm going to click on it, this fill, and I will come over here. This is my primary color. I'll change it to this primary color and I'll have something like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to come over to this right hand side panel and come to effect, add effects, then add another effect. So I'm going to have two effects. So the first effect here, I'm going to have here background blur, and my background blur, I'm going to make it 20. My background blur, I'm going to make it 20. Then drop shadow, I'm going to leave it, I'm going to come here, I'm leaving this Y at 4, and I'm changing this blur to 40. Now once I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is to come to this fill here, then change it to 80 from 100, reduce it to 80. Then I have this. So now the next thing we're going to do is to have this cart number, meaning item number, cart item number. And how do we achieve this is to come over here to this frame, then Control C. First of all, we need to bring our cart first. Let's come over here, pick our cart, duplicate, and bring it down into this place here, inside this frame. Yeah, drop it inside. So now once you have it this way, we'll give it a fill, add fill. So we'll come here, duplicate, and copy our cart. Then this our cart, we'll bring it here. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the color to white, then come and pick this frame here. Now this frame we pick, we're going to resize it to, now after resizing it to 2020, we're now going to give it 99 corner radius. Then we'll bring it our text, and we'll write our text here, let's say 1. Then we'll center this 1 here, center it, make sure it's centered. Then we'll click on our frame, then we'll give it a stroke, add stroke to it. Now this stroke, we're going to make it 1.5. Then we're going to now change the color to green. Then the fill, we're now going to change it to red. Then the text here, which is the black, we're now going to change it to white. So we're going to have something like this. So now I'll drag this into this frame here, bring it here, then I'll just push it up this way, up this way. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to click on this frame here, right? Then I would come to clip content, and I'll unclip the content. So I'll have something like this. So now this frame, I'm now going to drag it inside this cart auto layout that I created. Then I'll release it inside. Then we'll have something like this. So we are going to have something like this. Let's move it a little this way. So I'll just center this, make sure this is at the center, and we have this. So now this is our button. So now we want a situation whereby when we're adding to carts, all these things, items will be coming into the cart. So we need to prep our carts, the items that are going to come into the cart. So how do we prep? All we're going to do to prep this is to come over here, still pick on our frame, then create a frame here, because we want to get the perfect size. So that's what I'm using. I'm doing it inside this button, right? I'll just come over here, the width is 50, so I'll just say 50 50 50 50. Let me see what I have. Okay, then I'll come to corner radius, and I'll say, then I'll come to fill, and I'll add fill. Now that I've added fill, the next thing I'll do is I need to give it a color. Remember our gray color, so we need to continue with our gray color for consistency. EB. So I'll click on this, then I'll change the color to gray. Then I have this. So now the next thing is to come, the item I would want to pick or add to cart is this first. So I'll come here, pick this item, particular item here, then bring it down. So I'll bring this out first, right? I'll scale it down, scale, and I'll bring it inside the frame, scale it more. So So I'll just bring it inside the frame this way. So now I have this. So the next thing I'll do is to now drag this inside this frame like this. So I'll just center it. So now when I pick any item, it comes inside this frame like this. It comes into the frame like this. So now what I will now do is this. I'll change this name to button. So I'll just change this name to button, and I'll come over here, click on this, then I'll take it up inside. Don't worry, just take it up inside, this way. Then what I'll now do is I'll come over here and I'll unclip this, right? I will come over here and I'll unclip this to see it, then I'll clip it back. So now I'm ready to fix my button. So where am I going to fix this first button? The first place I'm going to fix this first button is here, this frame here. So this is my first home screen here. So what I'll do is I'll go out of scale first because it's on scale. So I'll just come here and drag it down this way, then bring my button side here, center it, make sure it's at the center. Then I'll take this, I'll just resize it back. I'll just say I'll come over here, click on the screen, click on the overall home screen, then I'll resize it back to 932. So I have this. But before I duplicate this screen, right, what I'm going to do is to come over here, click on the overall screen, and I would say horizontally, right? I want the screen to scroll horizontally. This particular one, I'll click on it and I'll say I'll come to overflow and I'll say both directions, right? I would also do this, then I'll come over here and I'll unclip the content, then come back to prototype, click on this, and I'll come back to overflow and say both direction also. Then also click on this frame selection, then I'll come over here and I'll say both direction. So now that I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is to come back here, and then I'll come back to design, then I'll clip the content. Now I can duplicate this. So now that I've duplicated this screen, the next thing I want to do is I want, when I add this, press this plus button, let my animation happen, right? So the next screen now I'm going to do is this second screen, right? I'm going to unclip the content, then you see this, my button here. I'm now going to bring back the button. So what I'll do is I'll just come here to y-axis here, double click, highlight all, then I'll say, let's say 700. So now what I'll do now next is to come here and clip the content, come and bring it down this way. I want it to come out this way. So now when I do this, the next thing now I'm going to do is to unclip this, right? I'll unclip this. When I unclip this, you see this mobile, I'll just bring it inside here. When I bring it inside here, I'll just do this, just center it this way. So now after this, the next thing now I'm going to do is, right, these items that I'm going to add. For example, the next 3 items I'm going to add, I'm going to bring them out. So I would want to add this item, so I'll alt and bring it out, and I'll also want to add this item, so I'll copy it out. So the next thing, I'll close this, click on this and click content. So I will now come here and I'll copy this out, then I'll resize this. I'll take it out from scale. First I'll just resize the frame, then I'll scale it down. I'll enter scale and I'll scale it down, We'll scale X. Now I'll duplicate this and I'll paste to replace. Then this also, I'll scale it down. I'll cut, paste to replace, something like this. I'll just center it and center it. So now I have something like this at the end of the day. So what's the second thing I want to add is this, which is on this line, right? So I need to bring it inside this first frame here, this first bottom frame here, right? So what I'll just do here is I would first of all come here, click on this, then I'll duplicate this, just come to this and cut it out. Then I'll click on this first one here, then I'll right click, then I'll paste to replace, then I'll put it inside this frame this way, then I'll now bring this here this way. So now the next thing now I have to do is to come here and I'll clip content. I'll now come to this home, duplicate this home. Now when I duplicate this home, this I'll move it to this side, then this I'll unclip, and I'll pick this, and I'll bring it inside the frame. I'll just come over here and center it. Then before I duplicate this, I'll just come over here, this here, I'll come here, I'll click on this, bring this here to this side, then click on this to bring this to this side, then I'll duplicate this like this, then I'll cut this out, X, then duplicate, then right click, then paste to replace, and I'll push it back up, and I'll bring it this way, bring this way. So now I'll click on this, then I'll click content, and the next thing I'll do is this, I'll duplicate this way. I will now click on this, then I'll unclip, now this, then move this way, then bring this inside, just center it, this and this, bring this here, goes to align it properly, the spacing. So now we have this. So now you can see the screen here. So what's the next thing now we have to work on? The next thing we have to work on is these numbers. So 1 is added to cart here, then this one, the number is supposed to be 2, so we'll double click and put this 2. Then this one, the number is supposed to be 3, we'll double click and make it 3. Then also this our cart here is supposed to also have numbers, right? So what I'll just do is let's see, then come here, just pick this. So let's just copy this number, this, the Control C, and I'm going to add it here, paste here, then I'll bring it into this frame, then I'll move it up this way, then I'll click on this overall frame here, then I'll see clip content, I'll unclip the content. So now this is what I'm going to use, or this is what I'm going to work with. So I'll just click on this, I'll just Control C, I'll paste to replace, then this is going to be, I'll paste to replace, then this number is supposed to be 2, just make this 2, then I'll come over here to the first screen, first add to cart screen, then I'll double click and I'll make it 1. So now 1 1 2 2 3 3, right? So we've done this. So the next screen we're going to have is this. The next screen we're going to have is this, right? So how are we going to create this screen? So the next thing we're going to do is to duplicate this screen this way. So duplicate this screen this way. So once we've duplicated the screen, the next thing we're going to do is to come over here and click on this frame. Once we've clicked on this overall frame, we're now going to expand it this way, and we'll expand it this way. Just expand the frame. So now this one here, we're going to click on it, which is the navigation menu, and we'll send it down. We'll just send it down this way. Just send it down this way. Send it down. So now we are now going to click and expand the frame. So once we've expanded the frame, the next thing we're going to do is to come over here, right, and remove the radius of the down corner radius, the left bottom and right bottom, make it 0, and leave the top left and top right. So now you're now going to have something like this. So now the next thing now you do is to come over here and this, right? What I'll do is I'm going to give it auto layout. Once I give it auto layout, I'll now come here to this our flow, right, and I'll say vertical. Once I say vertical, I'll now bring it to this side here. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll scale it up. Okay, and I'll scale it up this way. It's too big, I'll just scale it down a little. I just wanted to take one portion of the column, one of the columns, so something like this is okay. So I'll just bring it up a little, so something like this is okay. Then this over here, I'm now going to bring it down. So I'm going to click on this, just minus, remove the stroke. So now once I've removed the stroke, now is to get this button, right? The button, I'll just come over here, I'll say 40570. Then I'll come over here, align it to the center, and the next thing I'll do is to give it a corner radius of 12. That's what we're working with. And I'll give it a fill. Now this fill is going to carry our color. So, and our color is this, my primary color. That's what the fill is going to carry. So I'll just come here and I'll paste. Then this, I have this. Then now this particular one here, I'm now going to click on it and I'll change it to white, right? So what I'll do is I'll come over here and change it back to white. So I would have this at the end of the day. So now this text, I'm now going to change it to go to checkout. The names and prices, I'll come over here, Samsung Galaxy, like this. I'll just copy it with the auto layout. Bring it to the side this way, something like this. Then I'll leave it. Then what's the second item we added? I'll now go check where is the second item. So what I'll just do is I would just click here, just unclick content. Then this is the second item. I'll just double click, copy it out. Then I'll copy the third one out so that it will be easy. This is the third one. I'll copy the third one out, and I'll alt and copy the third name and price out. Just copy it out. So I'll just come back here, home, and click content back. So now I will copy this, I'll highlight this, and I'll bring them here. So I will now arrange this way. I'll double click and make sure this is arranged. I'll double click and arrange this way. So now it's this, I'll just give it auto layout just for it to have equal spacing. Then I will right click, then I'll ungroup it. So what next? The next thing now I will do is to come over here, bring out one of this button, just alt and bring it out, and I will just hold on control and expand it this way. I'm now going to come over here to the right hand side panel and give it an effect. Let's say 10 and something like this. So I'll just bring it here, I'll just arrange it here. Then I'll duplicate this, bring this here, and I'll duplicate, bring this here. So for me to make sure this is in the center, I'll just click here, give it auto layout, then come over here and see, then I'll ungroup. So this also, with this auto layout, I'll come to alignment, I'll say center, I'll right click, then I'll ungroup. This and this auto layout, the center, then I'll right click, then I will ungroup. So to make sure that this is also aligned, I'll click on this and click on this, right? Then I'll right click, then I'll say frame selection. All I need to do is to come over here and align them one by one. Center, I'll just say center, I'll click on this one, I'll say center, then I'll right click, and then I will ungroup. So now everything is properly aligned. Bracket open 27622, 765, 100, bracket close. So we have this at the end of the day. So I'll move this a little, then this, highlight this, and I'll move them up to a little just for breathing space. Then the next thing we're going to do is to have this here. I'll now draw this here. Let me zoom in, just draw something like this. I will then give it corner radius of 12, just it's aligned to the center, take it up, and I have something like this. So at the end of the day, we're going to have something like this. So now when I click on this to check out, what happens next? This screen is going to come up, and I'm going to check out this. I'll delete them. Then this auto layout that I give, I've now removed it. I'll just right click and I'll ungroup. Then I'll come back here to this particular one. I'll ungroup the auto layout, right click, and I'll ungroup. Yes. So now the next thing I'm going to do is come over here, right, and I'll remove this here. I'll just delete. It's going to be this way. Then I'll remove these three too. I'll remove these three items this way. Then I would scale up this cart. I'll just go to K, so I'll scale up the carts. So now what next? The next thing now is this item here and this item, right? I am now going to right click and I'll give it a frame selection. Then I will move it to the center here. I'll just say center. I'll just come here, center. Then I'll scale it, and I'll scale it down. I'll scale it down this way. I'll scale it down this way. Now I'll just say center. Then I have something like this button. Control Z. Okay, I'll just duplicate this way. Then I'll Control X. Then this card here, I'll click on it. Then I would Control D and duplicate. Then this first one, I'll right click and paste to replace. Then I'm going to have something like this. So what I'll do next is to come over here to ignore auto layout, and I'll ignore auto layout. Now once I've ignored auto layout, I'll just bring it to the center here, right? Then I'll take it up this way. I'll just say it's center here. Then I'll take it up this way. I hope you guys can see. And I'll take it up this way. So once I've taken it up, the next thing I'll do is, right, I would have to right click, then ungroup. Then after ungrouping, I will now come here to appearance, then come to appearance, then I'll say 0, then click on this particular one, then I'll right click, then I'll ungroup also. So now I would have something like this at the end of the day. So the next thing I'll do is to come over here and duplicate this frame. Now once I've duplicated this frame, the next thing I'll do is to come over here, this one here, this one, and this one. I'll just come over here to appearance 0. I will make it disappear, right? Now, right, we see these frames here, right? When I click on this button here, if I scroll down, you see this frame here. I'll just click on it and click on it. Just highlight them. Once you highlight them, the next thing, you come back to opacity and you bring them to 100. Then you are now going to bring it down. So all you need to do is just come here, alignment, and see center align, and move it down this way. Just bring it down this way. So now we'll just separate all the side. So we'll just move this. So we have 1 frame here, 2 frame here. So this frame here, just move it here, then move this frame here. So now this and this, I'll just bring them this way, and this, bring it this way, this, bring it this way, and this, bring it this way. This frame here, this particular one, right click and bring it to the front this way. So now one more thing, I need to make sure this is inside. There be space, for example, like this. There be space. So now the next thing is to come over here and duplicate this home. Duplicate this home, and you will now click on this and move it. Before you move it, first of all, you need to come and ignore auto layout. Then once you've ignored auto layout, you now move it this way, and you click here. Then what you do is you clip content of this frame. You just come to clip content and clip content. So once you've clipped content, you are now done with the add to cart process. So the next process we're going to continue with is